Hi, I'm Gene Cady, head basketball coach at Purdue University. Today, please call in your pledges to the Jerry Lewis Telethon. Help Jerry's kids.
How about it, everybody? Welcome back to Purdue University. I'm Mike Pickett, along with Chris Morrissey and Mike Prangley and Susan Clisby and Jared Chapin and a cast of hundreds as we're sitting here ready to take your calls, ready to make wonderful things happen in the greater Lafayette community between now and 6 o'clock as we raise the money that it takes to fund the research and fund the products that are needed to cope with muscular dystrophy in this country. I want you to make a phone call to 743-1880. We're going to be asking you in a number of ways in the next few minutes to make that phone call, but we want you to think about it. But we want Jared
is
to do your thing.
Pop
This
those
guy has
balloons
been
and show
popping
us where we
balloons,
are.
and he's doing it like a pro. Let's see where we stand.
Go to it, Jared. Good job.
$163,444. Ladies and gentlemen of Lafayette, that's a good start, but we're not there yet. We've got a ways to go, and so we want you to be a part of this, to make a move over toward your telephone and make the call, make the pledge, and in the next few minutes we'll tell you just how important that is. But first, Mike Prangley.
Yes, a mainstay here at MDA, believe it or not. We've got Jerry Schoaf. We all can believe it because he's come from Attica. And tell me about what's going on here. From the Attica Moose Lodge, we've got Jerry Schoaf. Tell us what you have as far as the donation goes.
We have $3,558 that was raised through an MDA lockup just about a year ago. We have a new MDA lockup scheduled for the 22nd of September at the local lodge, and we're hoping to do much better this year.
Very good. Well, you did really well with $3,558. And as Jerry and I were speaking earlier, what differentiates this part of the country from other parts of the country, the Midwest, is for volunteers. Right, Jerry?
You bet. You bet.
Okay, we thank you very much. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have more phone calls coming in. We got to keep these phones moving. We're now in the home stretch, the last couple of hours. This is where we have to put it all together and keep it going. So please call 743-1880. And speaking of phones, let's go over to Mike.
About 2 weeks before every telethon, the Muscular Dystrophy Association invites basically one person from each of the local telethons to come to Los Angeles to meet with Jerry and to get updated on the research and find out how we really do this program. And I was fortunate to go this year, but it was especially fortunate for me because a guy stood up. A guy was 7 feet tall, and he stood up and said, "Jerry, I'm one of your biggest kids." And the guy's name was George Grams. George is a pretty basketball player back in the mid-'60s, played for the university and went on and had a brief stint anyway, playing some pro ball. And maybe many of you out there who are more my age or a little bit older might remember George. But, well, George is one of Jerry's kids. And as he's doing a telethon himself today in Texas, he took some time to do this message for us. And here's what George has to say to all the Boilermakers.
Hi, I'm George Grams. Perhaps some of you remember me from the mid-'60s when I played center for Purdue. You know, I sure miss those days, but my heart is still in the area. I have kept touch with many of the people who gave me so many great memories while I was there. I often return to see my daughter Lisa and my grandkids Joe and Nikki. Like Mike, I am co-emceeing a local MDA telethon today. Right now I'm in San Antonio, Texas at KRRT. I'm proof that Jerry's kids come in all sizes and ages. I have Charcot-Marie tooth disease, more easily referred to as CMT. Though I didn't know I had it when I played for Purdue and later for the Los Angeles Lakers. I know firsthand what devastating effects neuromuscular disease can have. One of the side effects of CMT is extreme foot pain. Imagine how it must hurt if breaking a toe makes it easier to keep on playing. That was my circumstance. But many of Jerry's kids today hurt even more. I know how important MDA's research and local medical services are to affected individuals and families. We are so very close to ending the reign of these terrible diseases. I know that working together we can close them out forever. I want to tell you how grateful I am to the on-air talent and staff at all the stations in the Love Network, like Mike and WLFI. But you know, I'm mostly grateful to people like you. You've taken the work of the MDA so far. Now let's finish the job. Please call the numbers that you have seen on your screen today and pledge all you can afford. Thank you.
And I want to tell you, I was impressed when I met George. George is, he's a big guy, but he's got a heart that's just as big as you can imagine. A wonderful personality, and he's coping with Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease in ways you have to appreciate this guy. And in fact, he told me the story of when he was diagnosed, and he had been going through a lot of problems with his feet, even during his basketball career. And the day that, in 1984, when he and his wife sat with his doctor, and the doctor began to tell him just how serious this is, he started chuckling, and he said, "Now I know why I couldn't rebound." Now imagine this guy. You know, here's a guy who's been through it all. He's lived a lot of life. He's working for the Walmart Corporation now, and he's suffering, but he's doing something about it. He's involved in the telethon, and he's doing it not only for himself, because whatever happens, you know, it's not going to get any better for him. He's pretty much going to have to live with it. But what about the young people? Well, he's working for them, and he's a Boilermaker, and he's proud of it. And we want you to think about him and all you Boilermakers out there. We got some other Boilermakers that I want you to meet. We got a great crowd here. It's a little thing special for us. I've been doing this telethon for 15 years. You saw Nancy's high school prom picture earlier if you were watching. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet some healthy kids. I want you to meet Mike and Nancy's grandkids. Say hi. He's not going to say hi, but Kevin Hitch wants that microphone. Kristen Hitch over here. Hi, Kristen. You say hi, Grandpa? No, Kristen's a little bit bashful. And Lizzie, Elizabeth Smith, is with us, as well as my wife, Nancy. Oh, yeah, that's your cousin, huh? Is that Kevin? Say hi. Hi, Kevin. Talk to the people. Yeah, don't eat the microphone. That's one of the first things they teach you in broadcast school is don't eat the microphone. I want you to think about these kids for a minute, because I do a lot. And I do it especially during the telethons, because, you know, we're talking about healthy kids. And most of the people who are out there have healthy kids, right? Yeah, here's one. He's going to be on television one of these. He wants this microphone. Well, you know, it's tough to interview some of the parents and to hear their stories and to try to place yourself in their positions. And you know, both of my kids are sitting over here, and they grew up living healthy and happy lives, and they went to Purdue, and I'm proud of that, and they married Boilermakers, and I'm proud of that. But you know, then I interview some of the people who aren't so fortunate, who from day one are devoting themselves to caring for a young person with muscular dystrophy. Folks, there are a lot of you out there with healthy kids or healthy grandkids, just like these kids. And no, settle down. Tell them how happy you are. I've been bragging about you for 3 days. Now be happy. Anyway, I want you to think about these kids. Think about your own kids. And when you make that phone call, you know, you're pledging for the future. And you're pledging for your kids. So that one day, we're going to resolve these problems. We're going to resolve the 40 neuromuscular diseases that Jerry Lewis has been fighting for, that Mike Piggott has been fighting for the 15 years, for 25 years. TV18 has been begging you to make that phone call so that we can raise our kids healthy, so that we don't have to worry about it. And so when these kids have kids, that muscular dystrophy is a thing of the past. And the only thing they'll ever remember Jerry Lewis for, if they remember him at all, hey, now don't start. Please don't. Be happy. There, talk to the mic. Yeah, he doesn't even want the microphone anymore. When these kids grow up, we want them to realize that Jerry Lewis was just a funny guy. That this telethon didn't even happen. Because it won't be important, because the diseases that Jerry has been fighting for will be long gone. Right, Kristen? Right. All right. I love it. So there you go. There's 3 healthy ones. There are a lot more of them out there, and you've got them. And I want you to think about yours and dial 743-1880. And when you dial 743-1880, make a pledge and say, hey, whoa, say, here's $10. And this $10 are for my healthy kids. Come here, Happy. Come here. Can you say goodbye to those people? Can you say bye? Say bye-bye. You say bye-bye real well. Say bye-bye. Okay. Well, anyway, Lizzie's a happy kid. And I hope you all have happy kids. Yeah, right. Okay. Let's go to Susan Clisby. Susan.
Thanks, Mike. You've got a great-looking family. I'm so glad that they're healthy, but there are a lot of children out here that aren't. So let's get those phones ringing. 743-1880. I have some pledges here. I'm over at the phone. See, they're starting to ring right now. Thank you. Dave White from Kokomo, $25. Susan Parkinson, West Lafayette, $15. Dennis from Lafayette, $15. Kay Chase, West Point, $15. Pete Pagan, Lafayette, $15. Morris and Liz Wetley, $15. They're from Fowler. Nice to hear from you, Benton County. Tom Brown, West Lafayette, $25. Curtis Faust, Monticello, $25.
And we've got a couple over here. Susan Vera Hildebrand gave $10 from Lafayette. Sheila Klinker, who's also volunteering her time and manning a phone, $50. And Jared's got a couple of names that he'd like to read. Who have you got there, Jared?
Fred Grant, $25 from Lafayette. Leah Diltz, $10 from Lafayette. And Scott Reed, $15 from Wolcott.
Very good. And we need you to keep making those pledges. We've got a little bit more to go. And Susan, you got more names?
Yes, I do, Chris. Pauline Schrader, Lafayette, $20. Larry and Joanne Hahn, Lafayette, $20. Barb and Jen Butler, West Lafayette, $20. The phones aren't ringing back here. Let's interview a couple of the guys that we have here. This guy might look familiar to you. Aren't you somebody we know?
I try to play basketball here sometimes.
What would you like to tell the people out here?
I would like to say go ahead, call in, donate money. It's for a good cause, for the Jerry Lewis Telethon. You know, it's held once a year on Labor Day. You know, it'd be a good idea to call in and pledge some money.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Nancy Sanchez, West Lafayette, $20. Betty Homer, West Lafayette, $20. Mike, have we got some more over there from you?
Yes, Doris Parks, thank you very much. $35 from Lafayette, that's Doris Parks. We also have Deborah Halsema from Battleground, Indiana, pledging $20. $25 from Deanne Feidler in Logansport, Indiana. Way to go, Logansport. In fact, let's get Logansport more involved. You're from Logansport. Let's get some more calls in from there. Also, we have David Garbert from Lafayette, pledging $25. These calls continue to come in. A lot of volunteers coming up, giving up their Labor Day to help out, and nothing would make them happier for you to call them. That's what it's all about, and helping out those kids out there. As we're running out of time here, let's just keep it coming. Chris, do you have more names for us?
We've got a White Star donor, Mike. Sherry Crockover, $100. Thank you very much, Sherry. And Jared, our ambassador, has got a couple more names to read. Who have you got there?
Cheryl Martin, $10 from Lafayette. Mabel Phillips, $5 from Lafayette. And Debbie Brunner, $25 from Dayton.
We're also hearing from people in Frankfort and Delphi saying that they're not getting the phone calls they'd like to get. So please give a call if you're in Delphi. The number is at the bottom of the screen, also in Frankfort. And the number here in Lafayette is 743-1880. Please call. Mike?
What do you say we start getting the phones ringing? There are a lot of people here who are volunteering their time on this Labor Day weekend. They're spending time here waiting to take your phone call. Let's make the phones ring. How much does it, what's a wheelchair cost? Stu, help me out here. What's it cost to buy a wheelchair? $1,700, I'm told, for one of those automatic wheelchairs. Well, we can do this, Lafayette. Let's see if we can raise enough money before we leave you to buy a wheelchair. Let's make those phone calls, 743-1880, and we're gonna buy a wheelchair. Let's hear some of those pledges. What do we have? What are these phone calls? What are the amounts we're getting? We are going to raise $1,700. How are you doing? You getting any calls?
I just had one for $60.
$60. We'll take it. That's the start.
Mike, we've got 25 over
25, so that's at 85. What do you think here, Lizzie? We're on the way, huh?
Another 25.
25 more.
25 back here.
Push the button.
$40.
110 and 40. We're at $150. We're on our way. What do you think, huh? 6 minutes to go, and we've got to raise $1,700. I think we can do it.
$5 over here.
$5. Greg McQuay from the basketball team is over here. Greg, you had any phone calls yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, if we make these phone rings, he's on number 11, and we've only got about 15. So it's going to take a lot of calls to get Greg's number going, but he's a pretty special guy, and he gave up his time and came over and volunteered. His buddy Chad Kirkhoff next to him, he's getting lots of phone calls, but we got to make Greg's phone ring. The big guy plays in the middle. We're anxious to see him making the phone calls, taking the phone calls. So let's make the call. We've raised $155. Let's hear some more numbers.
$10 back here.
10 bucks. 10 bucks, we're at 165.
$25 back here.
25, I like it. 35 more, says Sheila Klinker. 225. We want to raise $1,700.
We've got another $20 here, Mike.
$20 more. Christine and company, Gretchen Falks, Amy Dawson, and Heather Bell are here taking your calls.
$5.
How about it, Heather? You had any yet?
I've had 3.
You've had 3?
Probably about $70 total.
Well, that's a good go. Okay, I heard Mike Prangley. You shouted a number. What was it?
Another $5.
Another 5.
$10 here.
$10 says Susan Clisby. We're at 260. How about it, Lizzie? You think we're going to get there?
We've got
Yeah,
$50.
don't need the microphone.
$50 back here, Mike.
50 bucks. I like it, Chris. Okay, we're at 310. Pardon? What do we have here, Jared? How much? How much? 25 plus 10 plus 50. We're on our way to paying for that wheelchair. 20 more. I like it. We've raised $415. We're working ourselves towards $1,700 because $1,700 will pay for one of those wheelchairs. Down here on the end of the line, President Stephen Beering and his wife Jane are taking some phone calls, taking some pledges, and we're certainly pleased that they're donating their time to us, and we'll have to talk to them, but they're just busy answering the phone, and that's just fine. That's why they're here. They didn't come to talk to me. They came to answer the phone calls and to take your pledges. $30 pledge, says Susan Clisby.
And a $25
to put us at
here.
$445, 25 more. Ladies and gentlemen, we raised $470. That won't buy a wheelchair, but at least that'll send a young person to camp for a week, and that's important too, right?
15
right,
here.
Grandpa. 15, I heard 15. Now we're at $485. 485, 743-1880. That's the phone number to call, 743-1880.
25 here,
25,
Mike.
I heard 25. That puts us over $500.
$25.
$1,700. We got 25, and we're at 535. Greg McQuay is on the phone. That's a good thing. That means that all the phones must be ringing, and that's important. One person from Abate sitting in the back hasn't got a phone in her ear. That's Sue. Sue, stand up. Oh, there goes your phone. Okay, that may be all. Jane Beering. Welcome, Jane.
Nice to be with you.
You just took a pledge, did you?
Yes.
How much?
$5.
A $5 pledge. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Beering. We're now at $540. Our effort is to raise $1,700 in the next few minutes. The number to call to do that is 743-1880. You know, 3 minutes to go. Can we do it? Well, that's going to be pushing, but we're going to try. Let's get all the phones
Mike.
busy.
Add another 25.
I heard 25 more. We're now at 590.
We've got $30.
We got 30.
25 here.
25 more. We're at $645. We're working our way towards $1,700.
Another
Amy, that's a smile. Does
$25.
that mean you took one?
That means I've finally got another call for $25.
$25. Thank you, Amy. Chris had 25. That puts us at $695. But we're on our way. We're on our way, but we're not there yet.
Another $25.
25 more. Thank you, Mike Prangley. So in that little bit of time now, we've raised $720.
Mike,
And
I
another
have
$25.
25.
Go ahead, Susan.
Mike, I have $300
Oh,
over
my
here.
goodness, $300.
There you go.
Mike
That's what we
Robinson
need.
took that phone call. Susan Clisby announced it. We're over 1,000. So we'd like
Getting
to raise
closer to that
700 more.
wheelchair. Getting
Pardon?
closer to that wheelchair.
We're getting closer to buying a wheelchair. Not that we like wheelchairs, but it's a necessity. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association. How much? Chad Kirchhoff, what'd you get?
$100 from Collision Works.
Hey, thank you, Chad. And thank you, Collision Works. 1145. We're at 1145. We're working our way towards 1,700. Help us out, folks. Give us a call.
$100 over here.
I heard 100. Did I hear 100?
$100.
That puts us at 1245. The baby's getting heavy. Whoop, okay.
$25.
Baby's ready to go back to mom. However, we're cooking. We're cooking. We're on our way. There you go. All
25 more dollars.
25. I like to hear it. We're at $1,270. A minute to go.
$5.
Let's see it. $5. Let's keep it up. 1 minute to go, and we're at $12.75. Let's make those phones ring, Lafayette. The number to call is 743-1880. $743-1880. I heard 25. We've raised $1,300.
25.
25 more.
20.
20.
30.
30.
20.
I heard 20. 30 seconds to go. We're at $13.95.
$100,
100.
Mike.
That sounds good to me.
From Lloyd and Melissa Crow.
$14.95. What you got, Sheila? $100. Sheila Clinker got it. We're almost there. We need another $105. Can we do it real quick? Somebody make that phone call right now and say, I've got $105. Call 743-1880. Got one here? How much?
$100.
$100. I liked it. $25, we're over the top. Lafayette, we did it. 1720. Jared, get your thing out.
All right.
Pop those balloons and let's see where we
Show
stand.
us where we are.
$167,002. How about that, Lafayette? You're wonderful. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back in a little bit, but first, let's go to Television City in Hollywood.
Contributions, these kids wouldn't have all the activities they partake in, and we really need your help out there. So please call 743-1880. In fact, Megan wanted to do something special to help some calls come in. She wanted to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. We've been practicing this, but of course we're here on live TV, so we'll see how it works out here. Megan, you want to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? Here. How I wonder
My balloon.
what you are.
That's my balloon.
Yeah, here's your balloon. Up above the world so high. So keep those phones ringing even though we didn't get through Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. You're making a lot of kids happy, keeping that hope in their eyes and that twinkle in their eyes and that twinkle, twinkle, little star. Right, Megan? You want to say bye?
Bye.
Okay, and thank you very much. And let's go back to Chris Morissi.
I'm here with some volunteers and people throughout the community make up the contributions that we've tallied on our tote board. We've got a gentleman here joining me. What's your name? What organization, if any, and how did you raise your money?
My name's Michael Parker. I'm from Crawfordsville, and I just done a roadblock by myself for 4 days, and I raised the amount of $1,007.32.
Wow, that shows you what one person can do. $1,000. Thank you very much. And where did you do your roadblock in Crawfordsville?
Right at Darlington Avenue and East Market Street.
So thank you to you, and thank you to all the people who contributed. And also from the Clarksville Fire Department, what's your name?
My name's Dustin Winger.
And how did you all raise your money?
We did a Fill the Boot program on US 52 and 28.
And when did you do that?
This past Saturday and the Saturday before that.
And how many members of your department participated, do you think?
About 6 or 7 of us. And we raised a total of $1,768 for you.
Thank you very much. And the kids, thank you very much. And that just shows you what the community can do when people pull together, even act on their own. $1,000. So thank you very much. Susan?
How about Mike?
Okay, Mike.
How about over here? You know, a telethon wouldn't be a telethon if, number one, we didn't miss some cues. But if, number two, I didn't get to say, here's Johnny. Here's my buddy. Here's my buddy, John Mitchell.
Hi, everybody.
John's been involved in these telethons as long as I have, I think. He goes around the community, starts in about, August, and knocks on doors, goes up to everybody he can, flirts with more people than you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's well known in this community.
Yep.
John also works at Payless, he puts the canisters out at the registers there. And you talk about success. You talk about raising money for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. This guy has done it over the years. John, we're proud of you.
Yeah.
Tell us what you've done this year.
If it wasn't for Payless people helping me, I couldn't be up here today and helping you all. This total will help anybody who got MD. My total is
800.
800.
21. And 74 cents.
74 cents.
$821.74. John Mitchell, you did it again for us, pal. And he did it in the buckets and in the cans. He did it the hard way.
Thank you, everybody who questioned me.
And thank you, John Mitchell. We all try.
Payless.
You're our guy. Thanks, Payless. How about that? Now, John's always involved. John's always doing things, and we've had a volunteer also for several years now who does some wonderful things for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. I'm talking about Rebecca Holliday. Rebecca arranges the auction that takes place out here, goes around several months ahead of time, and goes to the merchants and finds the items that we're going to auction off during the telethon that takes place on Labor Day. Congratulations. We appreciate your effort.
Thanks.
You do a lot of work.
Every year, but it's worth it.
It is. Okay. And tell you, in fact, you're second generation telethon worker, right?
Yes, I am.
Uh-huh. Well, tell us how you've done. What kind of success this year?
This year we did $3,528 at the auction.
$3,528. How about that for an auction?
And I want to thank the local merchants because without them we couldn't do this.
Well, of course not. And lots of great items donated. And in fact, I saw that vehicle out there. What did that little that used van go for?
It brought in $500.
$500. Okay, $500 toward $3,528 from the auction. Rebecca, thanks so much for being with us and for the work you do every year. We certainly appreciate it. Okay, guys, there's more.
Thanks, Mike. We're here with the WEA Fire Department.
Yes, we done a fill the boot to collect money for MDA. We collected $455 in about 3 hours yesterday morning.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Let's give us your names.
Charles Richardson.
Charles, thank you for coming out today, and thank you, WEA Fire Department. We have another group here. We have the Delphi Volunteer Fire Department.
I'm Richard Hawkins, Fire Safety Coordinator.
James Bishop. Chris Myers.
Roy Mitchell.
We had a Fill the Boot campaign for 2 days, and we only did it for 11 hours, and we raised $3,085.48.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you. Great effort here. Now let's go over to Mike.
You know, throughout the telethon since last night, one of the most active people besides Susan Clisby is Jared Chafin. Jared, it's been pretty special. You've been working pretty hard for us, haven't you?
Yes.
You've been here since we started out, huh?
Yep.
And there's a reason, and the reason that Jared has been so involved, among others, is that Jared, for this area, is MDA's Goodwill Ambassador for 1999, and what an ambassador he is. We want to make, Mom, how about putting that around his neck? Let's see it. All right, dude, that's what she said. Look at this. Congratulations to Jared Chafin, our Goodwill. In fact, you know, this guy, I mean, he's stealing the show. We started doing some promotions 3 or 4 weeks before the telethon started. He showed up. He put that great big old smile on his face, and he's made it. He's just a ham. He does exactly what it takes to deal with the kind of people that he has to around a television station, and we're so proud to have him. And Lorraine, you should be proud of this boy.
I'm very proud of him.
Tell us a little bit. Now, Jared's a student, 5th grade student, right?
Yes, at Mayflower Mill.
At Mayflower Mill. Tell us about his muscular dystrophy and how he's coping.
Well, he's got Becker's disease, and it affects the calves of the legs, and so's my other son. And it makes them, well, yeah, it goes up to the hip and everything, too, but right now it's on you it's starting in the calves.
I think Jared's going to explain this maybe a little more than Mom, huh?
Yes. But anyway, he falls down sometimes, and his arms are getting weaker. It's hard for him to carry, like, pitchers of water and everything. And like last year at the Haunted Mansion, we went through there, and he got halfway through and collapsed. And policemen took him out, but he misses stuff like that. And they go on field trips and stuff. We have to make sure they have wheelchairs and everything, because they get behind, you know, they can't keep up with everybody. But
I saw him playing a little football out here, though, during one of the breaks between the telethon, and he's going at it pretty heavy.
Yes. Now, he can go for a period of time, so can my other son, but they have to stop and take breaks and stuff. But so far, they're dealing with it okay, and so am I.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, and you've got a positive young man here. What's it like for a mom, though, to coping with the problems that Becker's causes?
Well, it's very stressful. These two seem to catch the flu and stuff a lot, too, and they say that's affiliated with it. And I miss some work sometimes, and just their exercises and making sure, you know, just worrying about them, laying up awake at night and wondering what their life's going to be like when they grow up, and it's a real concern.
You know, Mike Prangley and I, Mike brought on his kids, and about an hour ago I had on my grandkids, and we said thank you so much for giving us healthy kids, but help us think of, too, about the moms and dads who are coping and coping with these various muscular dystrophies. And how do you keep that attitude? Every time I've seen you, you're smiling, and this guy's always happy.
Well, I cried about it for the first month or so, and then I realized it's time to quit crying and just get up and deal with it every day, and that's what we do. And so I want them to have a happy childhood and everything, and be little boys as long as they can. So that's how I do it. And I just laugh about it because it doesn't do any good to cry.
Well, I guess that's true. But what about the Muscular Dystrophy Association? Tell us how the pledges that people are making during this telethon actually help you and your family.
Well, they get to go to camp every year, and that is so fun for them, and it's so nice for them. They get to meet other kids with different diseases, and they see how they cope with it, and so that helps them. And this year is the first time I got into some support from other people that had kids. I've never been around too many other people that had muscular dystrophy kids, and this year it helped me cope a lot better, talking to them and seeing how they're dealing with it and everything. So they've helped me that away many times. They gave him a lot of opportunities this year. You know, he gets to meet the governor and the mayor and everything, and he's been really pleased with it. And I'm pleased with MDA. I'm really happy that they're there because I don't know what we'd do without them.
You know, that week of summer camp up at Camp Tecumseh, $400 worth of contributions will pay for it. And we've seen, we saw some tape earlier of Jared up there, and obviously having a wonderful time. And we see that I saw Jared and Troy going at it a little while ago, and reliving some of those moments, and they were great. But you know, there's another thought that I had, and that is, this is a full-time job for you, managing these two boys, and when they're at camp, that must be a break, huh?
Yes, it's a little bit of a break. We get to take a breather and rest a little bit, knowing that they're having fun and they're taken care of, and it's wonderful.
Well, and it's certainly important that people realize that, and realize that right here in our community, you're benefiting people. Here's a fifth grader at Mayflower Mill Elementary, and you know, mom's having to cope, but somehow we're doing it. And somehow, through the Muscular Dystrophy Association, the people in this community are responding, and they are taking part. They're making the contributions, making the pledges, and not only are they doing things like sending people to camp, but and maybe more important is that they fund the research that someday is going to resolve these problems.
And I wanted to tell everybody, I thank everybody here, and the firefighters and everything, 'cause we really appreciate it.
We appreciate you, and we certainly appreciate your boy. What a guy he is. Look at that smile. I tell you, he's stealing our show. 743-1880. 743-1880. That's the number to call to do your part, to help this kid and to help this mom and to help everybody else who's dealing with muscular dystrophy. Susan.
Thank you, Mike. We're here today with men in uniform. Speaking of uniform, I want to thank University Spirit for our wonderful shirts that they provided us today. And the men in blue, we'll make some introductions here.
Bud Schwartz.
Gary Gaither.
Joe Smith.
The Lafayette Fire Department, and I understand you have a very special check for us today.
Well, I hope so. It's not quite as much as we anticipated or would like to have, but it's a sizable check. If you made any trips through Lafayette over the weekend, you know that the guys were out in the street with all the sunshine. It was a little warm, but it was well worth it, and we want to thank everybody that passed by and filled the boot. We'd like to present this check for $26,892.
$26,000.
And you say this is just a portion. There is more coming?
Right. There's still guys out in the street. You still have an opportunity to go out and put something in the boot, and we're wanting to add to that total. We're still shooting for $30,000.
How long will those men be out?
Well, till probably dark. We're allowed to be out there during the daylight hours, so.
That's wonderful. Everybody, stop by.
Bud Schwartz, we're certainly thankful. We thank you very much for everything. You know, the firemen were some of the original people involved in the telethon back in the early 70s here in Lafayette. You guys have been part of it. There was a little period of time maybe where you weren't allowed to, but we got past that, and you're out there raising almost $30,000. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Let's find out what that's done. I haven't broken a balloon since I got here, but we're making a move.
Think
We're
you can
getting
do that
close.
by yourself?
I'm going to find out.
Okay.
And if I can't, Susan will come and help me. Here we go. $195,432. Ladies and gentlemen, we're cooking. We are on the way. We've got $195,000, and if that doesn't beat what we did last year, I'm sure it's close. We ought to be able to get over $200,000 before we reach the 6 o'clock hour. We've got 35 minutes. If we can make $200,000 in Lafayette, Indiana, folks, we've done something. Let's see what we can do. Let's make the phone calls. 743-1880. 743-1880. Look at there, Mike Robinson, Purdue men's basketball team, sitting there all by himself. That's probably the quietest this guy has been since he came to campus. Nobody to talk to. Make a phone call, 743-1880. Somebody make the calls. Somebody get this guy on the telephone. If you don't, I'm going to make him stand up. He'll love that. Make the call. Make the call to 743-1880, and let's get something cooking. Let's get the phones ringing. Dr. Beering and Jane Beering are sitting over here. Dr. Beering's on the phone. Jane, nobody yet. Talk to us, Jane. You're on phone. Now, it says phone number 1, but obviously that must not be the first one to ring.
No, nobody, it hasn't rung for a while.
We're going to do something about that. Tell them how important this is.
It really is important, so we need people to call. Yeah.
Phones are starting to ring. Okay, Heather Bell from Christina and Company takes a phone call. Now we're going to get going. Dr. Beering, Steve Beering. Let me tell you something. What an asset to this community this guy is. And we certainly appreciate you and your wife both giving up this bit of time to come over here to us and to take a couple of hours of your Labor Day weekend